I want to invite our Provost Wayne Vaught to now join me here because many of the questions had to do with academic affairs, and you'll notice that there may be overlap as well with some of the questions asked about human resources. So Provost Vaught, welcome to our town hall. There's a lot of questions here for you, so let me start right away. We know that many classes would normally be taught face-to-face this fall are going to be taught online. What is being done to communicate this reality to students? Will upper administration be making any announcements in the near future about the absolute need to hold a significant portion of fall classes online?
Yes, we've been working over the past month with departmental chairs, with the deans of academic units. We've surveyed students to try to get a real sense of what student demands and needs are for the fall semester in terms of our classes. We will be offering a number of our classes in an online environment, but we will be continuing to offer a number of face-to-face. Probably around 40% of our courses this fall are going to be face-to-face. The remainder of the courses will either be online or in what we're having a live stream model, which will be similar to a face-to-face class. You'll meet at the same time, but you would meet remotely. So you just log in on your computer and you participate in the class that way. We've been working to get that information out. Students will be notified this week. Within the next couple of days, the schedules will be shifting, so students will be able to go online and see what teaching modality the specific course that they are registered in for the fall semester will be offered in. If there are any questions or concerns, we do ask students. We're not leaving you out on a lurch. What we want to know is, are you having questions or there problems or there challenges from that switch that will occur? And reach out to your academic advisor. And also call the academic continuity website or write to academiccontinuity@uvu.edu. That's our email address, which allows you to correspond with academic affairs, and we can try to address any questions that you might have regarding this transition.
That's a really critical piece of information. If you remember in March, as soon as COVID-19 hit, we set up this address, academiccontinuity@uvu.edu. What this does is simplify. There's one place to go when you are in doubt. It is an academic affairs matter, and that is being monitored, and you will get a response. So please use that. Next question, Wayne. I am a student at UVU. My concerns about COVID are high because of my age, and I am high risk. I'm taking classes online right now, but worry so much about keeping the guidelines suggested by healthcare providers when classes resume face-to-face. Not all the classes needed will be online, so face-to-face classes are inevitable. What are your plans in helping keep us safe? So this is the actual, in the classroom, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. There will be a number of our classes that will be offered in a face-to-face format, though we're trying to offer similar courses in an online format. All of our courses this fall, whether they're face-to-face or strictly live streamed, will be live streamed and made available. So students who are in really high-risk categories who are in a face-to-face course will still be able to live stream and see that class. If you wish to go, and many of our students wish to be in classes, we've reduced the capacity of all of our classrooms in order to ensure social distancing, so you won't be sitting right next to each other as you have in the past. We're trying to ensure that there's the distancing that our health professionals have recommended. In addition to that, there will be sanitizers in each of the room that will allow students to clean their individual spaces. And while masks are highly recommended on most parts on campus, there will be many situations where those will be required use in our classrooms in order, again, to protect the health and safety of our students and our faculty and everyone as we resume instruction this fall.
Some of our face-to-face classes, in fact, resumed in May, on May 18. And so we already know what that has been like. And as Provost Vaught said, in some situations, the masks must be required, small classrooms, lab spaces, and things like that. During fall semester, there's usually a lot of travel for Thanksgiving. With it being so close to the end of term, will classes be held after the break, the Thanksgiving break, or will they be online only?
After the Thanksgiving break, we will shift to an all remote learning environment. And this is to prevent a risk of spread and transmission as people go home for the break and then return to campus. So talking with academic leaders, the department chairs and deans, we decided that after Thanksgiving, we'll just convert to all online.
Yes, and many other higher education institutions have adopted this practice. It's good practice, and it sort of cuts the risk of people having traveled to so many places and returning here and bringing the virus with them. I think that's welcome news for most of us. Other USHE institutions are planning a return to face-to-face instruction in the fall. I've been told UVU will do this very partially. Are we being vested with a mission of becoming the online campus of USHE? I think that's a yes or no question. Do you know how many of your faculty will resist being forced into that mission?
That is not our mission. What we have talked about over the past several years is creating flexible course delivery options for our students. And we know that students persist and that they complete at a much higher rate when they have the option of taking both face-to-face and online course options. And that's what we're planning for the future. And we're really only looking at ever having around 30 to 35% of our courses in an online environment. So no, we are not looking to become and are not targeting ourselves to become the online institution for USHE. We will continue to be a dual enrollment, dual mission institution with both face-to-face and online options for our students.
Yes, and I think it's important to remember that the largest segment of growth in enrollment among our UVU students is that cohort that takes both face-to-face and online and remote. So that's where we are playing. We're not going to be the Western Governors University of USHE. Will there be additional training and support for faculty who want to use the online or synchronous live stream method of delivery?
Absolutely. The Office of Teaching and Learning has really ramped up opportunities for education and trainings this summer. And so if you need additional training and would like additional training for online delivery, I encourage you to contact our Office of Teaching and Learning, and they can help you identify resources that will make your courses successful this fall. And it's one thing actually to point out to students. I know that what happened this past spring to institutions across the country was a sudden shift to a largely online environment. And while you may see some online courses this fall, please understand that your faculty are preparing for what we anticipate is going to happen this fall, unlike the way we were able to prepare as effectively in the spring. So it's going to be a quality educational experience, whether you're taking a course online, whether it's live streaming, whether it's face-to-face. We're doing everything to ensure that you're getting a quality educational experience, but one that's also very cognizant of protecting your health and safety while you're here on campus.
Do you want to say something to Wayne about the investments we're making in the classroom in terms of technology? Because I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Understand that in order to broadcast our courses and ensure that all students, because there are going to be situations if you're in a face-to-face course and you have to quarantine or you are diagnosed with COVID, we don't want you coming on campus, but we also don't want you missing out on the curricular experience that you would have. So we're outfitting all of our classrooms right now with the update cameras and technologies that will allow us to effectively get that course transmitted and live streamed right to wherever you are, so that you can have the educational experience that you're paying for here at UVU this fall.
All right, and a final question to our provost. Staff in academic affairs have lacked a sense of leadership and continuity. We are being told to ask our directors and supervisors. They tell us something, but then they are told by a dean or department chair something else. I know academic affairs is focused on faculty, but staff need to be considered, as we often have endless face-to-face interactions with multiple students and other staff throughout the day.
We'll absolutely be reaching out and making sure that all of our chairs and our supervisors and our deans are consistently communicating. There are a variety of different work situations and environments at UVU. Faculty and staff, some of them absolutely need to be on campus to deal with students here on campus. Some of them have opportunities for remote work. And so working with your supervisor to be sure that you're getting the proper messaging is something that is a priority for us. Again, if you have any questions or problems that pop up regarding this matter, contact us again at Academic Continuity at UVU EDU, and we'll look into it. But we're asking, as with one of the previous questions when you're talking with Linda, we absolutely need all of our supervisors, all of our associate deans and our deans to effectively and consistently communicate with both faculty and staff as to what their expectations are as they come back to campus in the next few weeks.
Thank you very much, Wayne. We will let you go. Thank you for
you so
answering
much.
these questions.